How many visits have you had already so far?
I ain't had none. They start in a couple weeks.
Okay, so we're 1 month from the draft, two night, and so who are you planning on seeing in person? Who do you got already?
I'm planning on seeing everybody really, but I got a couple lined up. I got to go out to New England next week, so that's where I'm going to start at.
That's your first one is New England.
Yeah, that's where I'm starting at.
This guy.
Please come to New England.
That's a Patriot fan right over there.
I beg of you, Jordan. We need you.
Yeah, but that would work for you, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna sit. Did you meet with New England at the combine? Did you sit?
Yeah,
with
I had a formal with them.
Okay.
I had a formal with New England at the combine. That went well. So,
what's the formal at the combine with the New England Patriots like? Can you paint the word picture for me? Were you in a room with Bill Belichick?
No, I wasn't in a room with Bill Belichick. I think my first encounter with New England was different from everybody else's because I only had a couple scouts in there. It wasn't like a full room.
Okay.
So it was just a little bit different. The vibe was a little bit different.
Okay, so
yeah, so it's not how you thinking like, okay, Bill Belichick in there. Nah, it wasn't like that.
Okay, so but I imagine you will meet Bill in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, well, how do you think that's going to go?
I'm not going to determine how it's going to go. I'm just going to see once I get there.
Okay. And then who else are you that you have a formal with? You got anybody else that you have a formal with?
That I already did?
No, that you're going to go to a sit down in-person visit later on.
Yeah, I got a couple that I'm going to after that, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
I ain't going to say no more. I'm just going to say no more.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Patriots are clearly looking at you. And so what do you bring to the table for a National Football League team, Jordan Addison?
What I bring to the table, consistency, just a different mindset, the will to win, and I'm just somebody that's going to do it, whatever it takes to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Who was your guy growing up that you admired, that you want to
that
model
I
your
like
game
to look
off
like?
of? Yeah.
A couple guys I watched was Stephon Diggs and Calvin Ridley. So those are my two main guys that like go back and watch.
Right. Well, Diggs is, Mr. Maryland as well.
Mr. Maryland.
Yeah, that's what he is. I mean, he was a big time Terp, and Bucky Brooks, my colleague at the NFL Media Group, has you being chosen by the Buffalo Bills. Like, what would it mean for you to be a teammate of Stephon Diggs if that happens, Jordan?
It mean a lot. Both of us on them outsides is gonna get crazy out there.
Mm-hmm. So, have you met Stephon Diggs? Have you ever met him? Spoken to him?
No, I ain't never really. I mean, I met him when I was younger. He was at Good Counsel. I was playing for Montgomery Village, so I seen him a couple of times, but I never really officially met him though.
Okay. So let's talk about your journey here. I've got Jordan Addison right here in studio on the Rich Eisen Show, one of the top wide receivers available in this year's draft. So you're from Maryland, and you wound up going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So originally I was going to go to University of Maryland. I was going to stay home, but coaching staff had changed at Maryland. Incident happened, so the receiver coach that recruited me at Maryland, he ended up going to Pitt. And then by his second day on the job, he ended up calling me again from a new school, offered me that same scholarship. So I was like, I'm finna go down to Pittsburgh with him.
Okay.
And then that's how that happened. It took off from there.
Well, many times the Steelers wind up taking kids from Pittsburgh, not just because it's the home school, but because you share a facility and, they have their eye on you in a way that you wouldn't think that they did. Right. And that's part of the reason why Kenny Pickett wound up there, right? Did you meet Tomlin? Did you ever cross paths with Mike when you were there?
I sat down next to him one time on the bench, like after our practice. They was coming out to practice to warm up.
Yeah.
We didn't really say too much. We was just watching the practice, watching them warm up, and that's just how that went. It wasn't nothing crazy.
There's no chit-chat?
Just something small, but it wasn't nothing crazy.
He's very personable. You could have said hello to him. He would probably said hello back to you.
Nah, we talked, but I'm just saying it wasn't no really intense conversation. It was just what's up?
Did you ever connect with Larry Fitzgerald while you were in Pittsburgh?
Nah, I seen him one time after our game though, but I never got a chance to connect with him in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so then what happened to send you out here to Southern California? Where did that come about, Jordan?
All right, so after my freshman year, when I had got there, the receiver coach that recruited me there, he had left. He took a job with the Chargers, and then we had got a new receiver coach, Coach Marion. Had a great year with him. Probably one of my best years. I feel like my sophomore season. After the ACC championship, he ended up taking the job somewhere else, and then our OC ended up leaving. And then that's where that conversation started at.
So it's just a lot of changes of people who you were comfortable with, brought you there, they left.
Right.
And so you left. And USC, you knock on their door, they knock on your door? I mean, how did you wind out here in Southern California?
I came out here. I came looking out here. I started talking to the QB, to Caleb Williams, and then it took off.
Well, I imagine the minute you talk to Caleb Williams, that's all she wrote, right? I mean, he's how give me an idea of how special he is. There's so many people who already have him on the radar screen for next year. Jordan.
I mean, the film speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. And then when you meet him in person, just his character and how he act, it's just he stand on business.
How does he act? Can you give me a description of how what that means?
Just mature. He's a mature young man who got his goals lined out and he trying to chase them.
Mm-hmm. How and what about Lincoln Riley as an HC? How did he help bring your game to the fore, do you think, in any way, shape, or form?
He helped me stay consistent. Like we all had a set schedule, and if we got off that schedule at any moment, we gonna slow up. Mm-hmm. So he just showed me what it takes to be successful.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.